Card illusion. Jamaica's sovereignty is still on lease. My fellow Jamaicans, Skywalker here with another concerning issue. They told us we were free. They told us we paid off the IMF. They told us the card was cut. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The card was not cut, it was coiled. And if we don't wake up, it will wrap around our necks again. We are playing with fire, trusting those who never lived up to any semblance of professed integrity. Never once in 500 years. All they ever did was to find ways to do worse. All they ever did was to find subtle means to keep us tethered to their devices and to stay over our shoulders and give directions while we work on our own progress. But although it's ours and not theirs, we must obey what they tell us to do for ourselves. This is the worst kind of humiliation after slavery. Us demonstrating that we need them to govern us for us, we must cut the cards. It has nothing to do with animosity, but it has everything to do with due diligence. We are playing with fire, and worse, we are belittling our own sovereignty while dancing in the ashes of illusion. Let's start with the facts. In 2025, Jamaica made its final repayment under the IMF's extended fund facility. That was supposed to be the end of our entanglement, but what happened next? We turned around and borrowed 250 million USD from the IMF under the Resilience and Sustainability Facility, and now we are poised to owe nearly US 1 billion again if we are not careful. So I ask you, what kind of freedom is that? You don't pay off your mortgage just to take out a new one the next day. That's not liberation. That's a revolving door of dependency. And because we know their devices, we wonder if it is something we really needed or something they encouraged us to do and find excuses about. We don't know. The people don't really know. The people must be more involved in what they are about to be engaged with. It should not seem so subtle that it passes over their heads. It should be clear and obvious to every citizen of Jamaica. They are the ones footing the bills, remember? According to the IMF's own data, Jamaica still has active arrangements. The precautionary and liquidity line which allows us to borrow in emergencies. The resilience and sustainability facility, which we have already tapped. Now, I'm not even saying that this is wrong or it's right. I am only saying danger. Well, what I know is wrong is three letters IMF. It's always wrong for us. It's always wrong. So I know that part is wrong, right? But where is this? Why do we need this? I can see. I mean, where it could make sense to a degree, but in some ways, I'm a little bit skeptical about it, to be honest. Not in terms of well, the government is not doing right, but it's the choice of people you're gonna engaged with. I mean, the same people you want to be like free from. Maybe that's the word to use. These are not just safety nets, they are silent chains because every dollar borrowed comes with conditions. They only lend you money because they want to be up in your rigmaroles. and then they want to find ways to own it. And we all know that this is not like I mean, this is like a Monroe doctrine thing. It's like a manifest destiny, a plot amendment thing, right? It's no secret. They're not hiding it from you because they think you're a dumb slave, and I mean, you can't have pride. Every facility access comes with oversight, and every recommendation from the IMF is a leash disguised as advice. When we borrow from them, they will become like gods in our lives. Imagine how that feels, especially knowing our history. They don't know that we have these feelings because they don't think we are intelligent enough. That's how they behave. We are not free, we are on lease. Sovereignty is not symbolic, and our fight for freedom is not a joke. And I tell you, this is not like a malice talking. This is just about due diligence, right? So don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. So I mean, I have to talk it. I have to say it as it is. So however it sounds, it's just what is, right? Our fight for freedom is not a joke. Sovereignty is not a speech. It's not a ceremony. It's not a press release. Sovereignty is the ability to say no to foreign control. It's the power to chart our own economic course. You don't play around with the devil and think, well, it will be okay because you are some kind of genius. You just nip things in the bud. You nip it in the bud and you avoid being in certain spaces. They say, show me your friend and I show you who you are. I mean, it's not like okay, you're not gonna be a good neighbor, but it's just that you have to do your due diligence. It's the right but it's the power to chart our own economic course. It's the right to make mistakes and the strength to learn from them without external punishment. Sovereignty is the audacity to stand in our pride, and some decisions must at times be made or not made just because we are proud. The spiritual tenets of our three dimensions must also be respected. Now, you can't be looking at the physical all the time alone. That's dead weight. That's stagnation. Because the creature, the being itself, is going to be stagnated. Stagnation in the universe, anywhere in the universe, stagnation is flatline. Stagnation is dead. But when the IMF tells us to cap wages, privatize assets, or cut social spending, we are not sovereign. We are subcontracted. That's the word. You know, and let me be clear this is not just about money, it's about dignity, it's about identity, it's about whether Jamaica belongs to Jamaicans or to international financiers. The psychological trap they set, they are trained, they trained us to celebrate debt repayment like it's emancipation. But what good is paying off one master if you sign up with them again pronto? We have been conditioned to believe that IMF approval equals progress, that foreign praise equals success, that austerity equals discipline. But let me ask you, who benefits from that mindset? Who? Not the farmer in Clarendon, not the teacher in St. Mary, not the single mother in Spanish Town. They don't see the benefits. They see the cuts. They feel the squeeze. They live the consequences. It's their global game. Look around the world. Countries with resources are being courted. Countries with strategic locations are being pressured. And countries with weak leadership are being owned. Venezuela chose China. Cuba chose Russia. and they paid a price, but they kept their dignity. Jamaica is next. We are up for grabs. And if we choose America or England, we will not just starve, we will serve because they don't negotiate, they extract. They don't negotiate, they extract. It matters not what they show you on face value. These are the things that they do. They extract. They trick, trap, and extract. Right? And if we start playing around with the devil, it's not gonna be nice. China and Russia, for all their flaws, offer something the West never does: respect for sovereignty. They don't come with lectures, they come with details and deals, right? And if we negotiate wisely, we can build partnerships, not dependency. So, no matter what you say about China, China's only pressure is that you make the right deal. That's the only pressure it's on you. When it comes to Europe and America, anything to do with America, like the IMF or the World Bank, you know it's gonna be trick, trap, and extract. It's always gonna be trick, trap, and extract. And if the trick didn't work, you're gonna get the bully part. So let's just stop pretending. The card was not cut, it was rebranded. And if we don't expose the illusion, we will walk straight into another trap. Our engagement has to be clear. This is this has nothing to do with animosity, but with due diligence. We have to be looking out for ourselves, and we cannot be subject to these people no more. We have backside, and we haven't made anything off our backside yet. But look out at our land. Look at how some of our people suffer because of the mining. But we haven't made much for our country, have we? America got all of it. America got even gold. Just mining bauxite in Jamaica. We need to benefit from our resources, and this is what even outsiders are seeing. So we can make fancy talks and all of that, but what we are saying deep down, it's not coming from a point of truth. It's not going to work how we claim it will if we are not careful. Yeah, we can make it work, but we have to be careful, and we have to be certain about ourselves and then nip certain things in the bud from day one. We don't have to bend over backward to please anyone. We have to let them know what we are about. We don't want to give them the idea that we are going to play their game and then they begin to manipulate because we already give them the right to do so. We need to audit every active IMF facility. Demand full transparency from the Ministry of Finance. Build a Jamaican economy doctrine that prioritizes self-reliance. So we're gonna build an economic doctrine that prioritizes self-reliance, and this is very important. We're gonna partner regionally with CARICOM, with the African Union, with BRICS. Mhm. And they are watching us, they are looking at us because you see in the middle, I said with the African Union. Invest in agriculture, mining, and digital infrastructure, not just tourism. We must stop measuring success by foreign applause. We must start measuring it by Jamaican prosperity. This is not just a speech, it's a warning. It's Skywalker's warning. It's a call. It's a fire alarm ringing in the halls of Parliament and echoing through every community. We have to do the right thing. And Skywalker is the watcher who is here telling you it's time to do the right thing without fear. We must demand clarity. We must demand courage. We must demand leadership that doesn't just speak sovereignty but lives it. Because if we don't, we will wake up one day and realize that God was never cut. It was just hidden under a new name. You go to church every day and you hear the Savior is waiting to enter your heart. Why don't you let him come in? He can't come in. He says, knock, 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 and he can't come in until you let him in. Don't let the imperialist in. Because when he gets in, he's gonna create problem. And sometimes you let him in by not meaning to let him in, but allowing him to feel like you're edging around, telling him no. And then he comes closer. You give him a little deal that doesn't even make sense for you, but for him to feel like you are his friend. Forget about that part. He 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 is who he is. He's like a parasite. That's his nature. This is his time. Time is no more for him. But this is his time and he has his anger with him. But we 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 are on the upward path and we need to make bold decisions. Right? So I'm saying again, we must demand courage, we must demand leadership that doesn't just speak sovereignty but lives it. Because if we don't, we will make a surprise for ourselves. We will wake up one day and realize that the card was never cut, it was just hidden under a new name. And by then, it will be too late. Jamaica is not a client, Jamaica is not a colony, Jamaica is not a case study. Jamaica is a nation, a force, a people, and they already know that. We have to start acting like we know that our ancestors have already told them. And we must walk free, not just from the IMF, but from every illusion that keeps us small and from every people that wants us to remain small. So let's cut the card for real, real this time. Not with fanfare, not with fantasy, because it's not about animosity, it's about due diligence, but with facts, with fire, and with full Jamaican resolve, we must cut the card, right? This was your Skywalker commentary. Remember to give the video a like, leave your comment below, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.